Jacob Brown, public speaking, visual aid speech, how a tornado forms. Hello everyone. When I saw my first assignment was a visual aid speech, I pondered what topic I should choose for my speech. I decided that I should pick a topic that I find interesting as well as my audience would. That's why I've chosen to speak about the weather, more specifically, how a tornado forms. I'm sure many of you at some point in your life have seen a tornado, whether it be on TV or maybe even in person. You probably watched in awe as the swirling death trap tore through cities, overturned buildings, overturned cars, and other vehicles as if they weren't even there. But have you ever wondered how this magnificent phenomenon formed? Well, if you have, then you're in the right place. Because in this speech I will discuss and explain how the process in which a tornado forms. In order to produce a tornado, the first thing that is needed is a supercell, or more commonly known as a thunderstorm. To create a thunderstorm, three things must be present in the atmosphere. The first thing is a large mass of unstable air, which results from warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico in the lower atmosphere, and cold, dry air from Canada in the upper atmosphere. The second thing that is necessary for a thunderstorm to occur is a force to mix the warm and the cool air, to cause instability in the atmosphere. This force can be many different things, ranging from Rocky Mountain winds to frontal boundaries. When this force moves into action, the warm air rises from the lower atmosphere, causing an updraft, which mixes with the cold, heavier air. An updraft is a current of air that is moving upwards, hence the name updraft, generally because it is warmer than the air above it. Finally, the third factor needed is moisture. Moisture in the atmosphere is created when the moisture in the air turns water droplets into clouds. These three things make up the formation of a thunderstorm, which is the first step in producing a tornado. As the thunderstorm continues to pick up strength, the heavy downpour of rain causes downdrafts, which are the opposite of updrafts. Simultaneously, that updraft that we just talked about a couple moments ago starts to rapidly pull humid air into the storm. As the humid air is being pulled into the thunderstorm, it cools. The moisture trapped in it condenses into water droplets, and the heat is released into the air. This heat causes the air to quickly rise, which strengthens the storm even more. As the updrafts within the storm get stronger and stronger, they pull and pull more air into the cloud. When this happens enough times, a wall cloud will form, indicating the area and where the strongest updrafts are present. As the wall cloud begins to rotate, this means without a doubt that a tornado is in the very near future. The wall cloud starts to rotate faster and faster. The faster it spins, the tighter the structure of winds becomes. When these winds continue to contract and spin around each other tighter and tighter and faster, a very definite shape forms out of the thunderstorm that closely resembles a funnel. This is called a funnel cloud. It's a very creative name, I know. Now typically, when people see a funnel cloud, they say, "Hey, that's a tornado." Well, this is not the case. It is not a tornado until it makes contact with the ground. Until this happens, it remains a funnel cloud. Okay, so let's briefly review how a tornado forms. First, a thunderstorm must form. When the warm air and the cool air collide, they create an unstable atmosphere. Updrafts then form and pull air into the thunderstorm. As more and more air is being pulled in, a wall cloud forms. After the formation of the wall cloud, it begins to spin, which creates a funnel cloud. Finally, when the funnel cloud touches the ground, it is officially classified as a tornado. Now you can tell your friends you know how a tornado forms. I have some pictures here of tornadoes and the destruction that they can leave behind. If this speech were in person, then I would pass them out and let you pass them around the class. But since it's an online speech, I'll just have to do my best to show them to you. The first two pictures I'm going to present to you are two magnificent shots of spectacular tornadoes. The third image shows the destruction that can be caused by the powerful tornadoes. So here's the first image. You can see this is it's a very big tornado. This is an F4 tornado. It's one of the biggest tornadoes that can be recorded. F5 is the biggest, so this is, the second to the biggest. If you were closer, you can actually see this tornado is barreling down on a highway. And there's actually a car, you can see the headlights of a car, which appear to be trying to escape the tornado. The second one that I have here is an F2 tornado. F2 tornadoes are weaker, but they can still cause a lot of damage. You can see that there's a very definite shape here in the tornado. It's very white in color, and it really pops against the dark clouds in the background. And then there's just a beautiful strike of lightning that's came from the thunderstorm. And actually, I didn't even notice this till just now, but there's a rainbow that streaks across the tornado. It's a really cool picture. And then last but not least, the destruction that can be left behind by a tornado. This is the destruction that's left behind from an F5 tornado in a small town in North Carolina. Now, I know it's a little hard to see, but the image shows, the main drag down on this small town in North Carolina, and on either side of the street there is just nothing left. It's just completely and utterly demolished the town. And it just goes to show you that tornadoes are something that shouldn't be taken lightly. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much.